Hey guys, this is Thunder Magic here, and even though Hour of Devastation's release is the big topic right now, there's a second thing on everybody's mind. Everybody's been talking about it in the MTG community. Now, honestly, I haven't been playing that long to really pay attention to how the standard cycles of legality used to feel, but overall, I vaguely recall it being like, okay, we lost some cards, whatever. But with the release of Ixalan, we're going to lose 50% of all cards in the standard pool, depending upon how you look at it. I mean, it'll simultaneously be 8 and then 9 and then 5. So we'll be losing 4 out of the 8, except it's 4 out of 9. Really just depends how you want to look at it. But here's the thing. So with Kaladesh and Aether Revolt being pretty worthwhile, pretty much leading the way even right now as far as mechanics and top decks that are really popular. I mean, Zombies and Energy, they're huge right now. Everybody seems to be thinking to themselves, hey, you know how Amonkhet was a complete and utter joke from a price standpoint? It lost so much money it was ridiculous. Oh, and then honestly, Hour of Devastation barely looks any better. Well, first of all, that's what happens when you leave a 7th and 8th set legal in Standard. You really should have cycled out some stuff, Wizards. But whenever you see low prices, there's always a silver lining. So high prices, it's like, cool, I can open packs and I can get high price cards. Yay, I can sell them, trade them, buy list them, store credit, whatever. Nobody likes, spending money on a pack and then having an average return of half the price of the pack. That's no fun. Except for if you're not opening packs. So if you're buying singles, great. If a box EV is $60 and you need some cards from that box, yeah, you can just buy the singles for pretty damn cheap. So there's an upside and a downside to both, but people keep thinking, well, if we lose 50% of the cards, and Amonkhet and HOU are the only ones, well, not the only ones, but they're half the cards that are left, I guess. And I think you can kind of rule out Ixalan almost exclusively. I haven't looked barely at all at the cards because I don't want them in my mind when I'm trying to build decks and then be like, oh, that's right, I can't use that for another 3 months, whoops. But, it's the old, energy thing, or the shared mechanic problem, which they have now fixed, sort of, after Ixalan. If you print energy way too good, energy when Kaladesh came out would have been like the dominant deck, oh my god, it's unbeatable. And then you print double the energy cards, you print, the same amount in Aether Revolt, we'll say, or close to it. Well, now you took the top deck and made it better, never a good idea. So if you want to split a mechanic between 2 sets, the first time it comes out, you just cripple it. That's pretty much just what it is. So some combos, some good fast stuffs, whatever decks come out, pretty unpredictable, but it's definitely not going to be the mechanic when you're missing half the damn, block, basically. So assuming Ixalan won't be shockingly worthwhile, although it might, who knows. Probably would help if I looked at all the singles, but like I said, I'm just not doing that. Well, we all know Kaladesh and Aether Revolt, okay, but they're getting a lot of assistance from the 4 sets before them currently. Could they live without them? Probably. But maybe with 2/5 of the cards being from the Amonkhet block, maybe some of these will go up in price because you'll just be forced into buying Amonkhet cards. Well, everybody will, because that's all that's left. I mean, unless you go literally just vehicles and energy where almost nothing in Amonkhet helps you. I think maybe some stuff in Amonkhet will take off. Maybe like a Graveyard Resurrector kind of thing. I mean, without Soul Separator, what's the point? So not direct resurrection, but the kill it twice kind of decks. And of course, not really without Zulaport. Okay, things are going to get shaken up a little bit. Nobody's going to be able to predict specifically what's going to happen. It's just too nuts. I mean, it's absolutely insane. We're losing so many cards, you can't just say, no, that deck will survive it. Oh, nothing better will come up. Well, so who the hell knows what Ixalan will do? So people trying to say, oh, this is a $2 mythic, but I think it'll go up, so I'm going to pick up 8 copies of it and trade, or, actually buy them for cash. That kind of speculation, it's a bit unsafe. I mean, honestly, investing in anything in Standard in MTG right now, or just MTG cards in any format of any kind right now, not a good idea. We're talking Power 9 to what do you call it, the restricted list, or I forgot the damn name of the thing. The do not print list. On up to Standard or Modern Staples or anything. They're all bad investments right now. So is there anything I would put my money in? I would say maybe the lands. But first, I know I'm going to get comments, so I'll explain myself. Power 9. Once all the idiot investors realize that they're only selling to themselves and there is quite literally zero demand for new players that want Power 9, maybe some collectors, but it's probably 80-20. 80% investors selling to each other and inflating the price, and 20% people who actually want the product. Whoops, as soon as they figure that out, it's going to crash. It's going to crash miserably. It's like the Holland Tulip Crisis 2.0 or whatever the hell that thing was called. Vintage and Legacy is dying. They're losing players left and right. There's no demand. The cards have to fall at some point. Commander isn't going to make up for it. 4 of versus 1 of, you're already 4 times smaller. So if there's 4 times more Commander players than Vintage and Legacy, which there probably are more, that isn't still going to dominate the market. Oh, and then Modern, you ever heard of this thing called reprint sets? Masters, they're doubling down on those, and they're printing them aggressively. So would I invest in Modern? Oh, hell no. And then Standard, where they're printing everything to death. They're printing at like 3 or 4 times the prevalence of pre-Gatewatch. Oh, pardon me, Gate Crash, but I guess Gatewatch too. So everything's a bad investment, right? Well, like I said, let's go back to lands, because the only reason that people can run 3-color right now is because of the sheer volume of 2-color lands. That is it. And then obviously also universal lands. You know, a land that conditionally taps for all colors. So, I mean, you got your Aether Hub. That's insane. If you're playing Energy, you run Aether Hub. Simple as that. It's not even that big of a drain on energy counters. Solemnity is, though. Whew, that's a monkey wrench. But other than that, let's say 3-color is still a thing after the rotation, which I really, really doubt is going to happen, but that's a different story. But let's just say, by random chance, because nobody can predict this, no matter how smart they claim to be, that 3-color is still big. Well, now people need generally double the volume of dual lands, and they're pretty much all rares. So it'll be really obvious. It's like, if you're running these 2 colors, you run this land. The end. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's like, no, run this land. I mean, you aren't going to go 10 swamps, 10 islands. That just, nobody does that. It wouldn't even work. Even if it's like 6/6, 4 of, 4 of, okay, which is probably what it's going to devolve to, maybe a couple universal fixers. So 3-color, oh my god, if that takes off, all of the really dumpy lands that are like $2.50 right now but are still rare and they're still dual, they're going to go up because you just need the fixing. Just straight up, you need to fix your colors. It doesn't matter how bad the lands are, you just cannot have it only tap for 1 color, or your deck just won't work. So people would get forced into it, they get forced into it at double the volume. So let's say, much more realistically, mono takes off because why not, but then also dual colors. Dual colors are huge. So therein lies the problem. I don't think there's going to be 5 almost equally powerful decks that mix all the colors, and then even then it's like there's not a lot of overlap between the different lands on purpose. You got your ally colors, your enemy colors, you know, so you can't just say, I'm running Shambling Vents and another one. No, that would be 3 colors. You need Shambling Vents and a Concealed Courtyard. Of course, we're about to lose Shambling Vents, so that's not the best example, but hopefully you get my meaning. So if you were to buy up, we'll say 12 copies of every single rare land right now, regardless of its price, and just hold them, because as a whole, losing half your mana base is going to drive the other half up to double, right? Well, it's not that simple. It comes down more to, okay, black-blue is popular, or black-white is popular. So guess what? Those lands are $10, and the rest are the same price you paid for them, or maybe 50 cents higher. I mean, if it doesn't end up in one of the top tournament decks, it doesn't go up. That's pretty much the law of physics of Magic the Gathering pricing. Also, just predict which colors are going to go up. Yeah, good luck with that. People showing up to the Pro Tour can't even correctly predict what's going to be the winner of the Pro Tour. They all think they've got the hottest deck, and there's probably 20, 30, 40 major ideas that show up, and then what, ends up in the top, like 3 decks. And even then, what ends up in the top, is it really better, or is it just better at beating what other people showed up with? Is it better in general, or better at winning the Pro Tour? Well, clearly just better at winning the Pro Tour. F&M and the game as a whole and MTGO are like a whole different story. So forget about trying to predict it and only investing in, just Concealed Courtyards, which I think those are cycling too, actually. The Kaladesh lands, whatever the hell those are. So buy up all 5 of them, right? Well, if only 1 color combination or even 2 color combinations shoot way up, you're going to come damn close to breaking even when it comes to like shipping costs and fees and that kind of stuff. So that doesn't bode well. Like if you lose on 3 and you win on 2, it's almost always a wash. So just don't invest in lands, or what? Or should I sell my lands now, or do I buy them up, or should I be just stopping, don't trade them at all? What should I do, you may be asking? Well, this one's pretty simple. Invest heavily in the rare universal lands, because those are universally guaranteed to go up in price, pretty much. And obviously, I believe I just said rare lands or Aether Hub. I mean, come on, let's be honest, it's basically a rare land. If it taps for all 5 colors, if 3 color takes off, that is a mandatory include. You are going to need that. A dual land will not do it for you. You need a triple or more land. So the tower, the Aether Hub, whatever the hell else is out there, totally forgot what. Maybe not like Manalith, and honestly, I don't think that's even a rare. I don't remember. But basically, if it's a rare, if it's a land, and if it's like not over $5 already, because I mean, come on, how much higher could it possibly get? I would maybe invest in it a little bit. Now, whenever I say investing, this is not an MTG finance channel. I hate the MTG finance community. They're a bunch of greedy, selfish, just arrogant, manipulative douchebags. They're basically like Wall Street wannabes, but with twice the attitude. I hate them. They have no place on this channel, but most of you have trade binders, so that's like the flip side of it. What I recommend is small scale. I mean, it's just, do you trade this now? Do you trade it later? Should you, at the next 3 or 4 FNMs, try to trade for these lands or trade them away? Just small scale to see if you can, you know, come out ahead by 15, 20 bucks, like whatever. Not the biggest deal, and I would not lean on my advice to make thousands of dollars. So at the end of the day, though, I think it's pretty safe advice from all the logical, you know, things I've proposed here and the different steps, different scenarios, that you would basically want to, well, you know, just bring up a price list, go on the Gatherer, type in rare, type in land, look at what's out there and be like, okay, this is 50 cents, this is $2, this is, okay, this is 10, not really touching that. Oh, but this one's only 3, and maybe, okay, that's gonna get some assistance from this and that, and this is more playable when this is gone, or this is an option. You know, just think a little bit and then just make a determination. Even I haven't technically done this yet because I have just absolutely no money to play with right now for buying cards, not even 50 bucks. I got so many bills piling up and crap and unexpected expenses. It's an absolute nightmare lately. So that sucks, but that doesn't stop me from giving you guys good advice for trading and small scale investing. So out of the 4 remaining sets after the cycle in a couple months, that would be my pick for what to pick up. So you got some time. Like I said, you got, what, probably around 3 months-ish. I mean, they haven't been really releasing them on exact 3-month intervals in case you haven't noticed. But, yeah, I would pick that up. Or just pick up Iconic Masters. I mean, it can't possibly be bad. It is going to be almost impossible to lose money on it at the distributor pricing. FYI, about 140 to 145 bucks. At 240, I think there's room to lose money on that set. I'm a little bit worried about it. That just seems like a better return on day one than even a long-term investment in, like, the stupid towers from Kaladesh or whatever. Or, like, Aether Revolt. I don't even remember the card names because I nicknamed it Trump Tower, and I could not tell you what the actual name of that card is. I think it's something Spire. I don't know. You know which one I'm talking about. You know, the crappy mana confluence? Yeah, that one. So, on the topic of me being broke as all hell, I haven't mentioned this in a while, but I've got an awesome t-shirt and mug and Totes My Goats totes bags. That's all on teespring.com, link in the description. Also, I've got a Patreon, and the reward tiers are pretty fantastic. So, if you want to help me be slightly less broke, any kind of donation of any size is always appreciated because, like, most of my meals cost under $1, so you could feed an African child or a desolator for about $1 a day. Seriously, those Africans need to get it in gear. They got like the whole economies of scale thing going on and the large distribution and all that. I go to like my grocery store and buy 5 pounds of rice for like $3 or whatever the hell it is. I mean, that lasts like weeks. I mean, you mix that with some canned vegetables, you got yourself a meal. Ironically, it's actually healthier too than more expensive foods. Also, going to be mentioning this a hell of a lot this week. I'm going to KitsuneCon, which is this weekend in Green Bay, Wisconsin at the KI Convention Center. Very lovely. I've worked there a couple times, actually. See, I have like 8 jobs, so you guys don't even know which one I'm talking about specifically. Or was I volunteering at an event for somebody else? I mean, it was that. So hopefully I'm going to see you guys there. It turns out a lot of people are coming. Chris from Legendary Man is going to be there. Jeremy from Unsleeved Media is doing something with fish. I don't remember what he said on Twitter, but whatever. So it's going to be like the 15th largest meetup of awesome MTG YouTubers in the history of the world. That's something. So if you find me at KitsuneCon, don't startle me. I'll probably knock you out. I'm going to be a little on edge. I kind of got some haters and stalkers and people trying to dox me and general internet creepers that would probably try something in real life, which is not smart given my history. Guns and kickboxing, that's the short version. But secondly, if you do come across me, I will have all kinds of cool giveaways and a Sharpie and probably that cool gold marker that I use to sign everything. I'm at least going to be the 27th most famous person there. So far, I'm planning to try to make it Saturday, but for sure Sunday. So if you're going to get like a one-day pass, make it Sunday. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys there. Buy a t-shirt so I can actually afford to go there. And I will see you guys next video.